Through Quranic insight we gain wisdom's light. Through Quranic insight we gain wisdom's light. Illuminating our path to what is right. Illuminating our path to what is right.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidil anbiya'i wal mursaleen amma ba'd fa'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem bismillahir rahmanir rahim wassalatu wassalamu alayka ya Rasulallah wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Habiballah wassalatu wassalamu alayka ya Nabiyallah وَعَلَىٰ آلِكَ وَأَصْحَابِكَ يَا نُورَ اللَّهِ. Welcome to the program of Madani Channel, Quranic Insight. In the previous episode, we discussed a topic selected from Surah Al-An'am, avoid outward and inward immodesty. Under this topic, we mentioned a Quranic verse emphasizing the importance of avoiding both external and internal immorality. Then we discussed the necessity of avoiding internal sins and covered other related topics. In today's episode, we will discuss a topic selected from a new chapter, Surah Al-A'raf, the reward of punishment for deeds. First, we will hear Allah Almighty's command regarding the reward and punishment for deeds. Then we will discuss the definition and nature of accountability. We will explore why accountability is necessary and whether rewards and punishments will be given based on estimation. Additionally, we will cover other related topics. Let's begin our episode with the virtues of sending durood upon the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, reciting durood upon me is a light on the bridge of Sirat. Whoever recites durood upon me 80 times on Friday, his sins of 80 years will be forgiven. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Dear viewers, in the order of the chapters, Surah Al-A'raf is the 7th. Surah Al-A'raf was revealed in Makkah and is the largest amongst the Makki chapters. This chapter consists of 24 rukus and 206 verses. The word A'raf means elevated place. And in verse 48 of this chapter, there is a mention of a high place called A'raf between paradise and hell. Therefore, this chapter is named Surah Al-A'raf. The main subject of this chapter is to describe the circumstances of the Prophets alayhimus salam and the consequences faced by the nations that denied them, warning this ummah of similar punishments. It encourages faith and righteous deeds. Additionally, the chapter elaborates on the fundamental beliefs of Islam, such as the oneness of Allah Almighty, His existence, revelation and prophethood, resurrection after death, and the rewards for deeds. Moreover, it discusses the following subjects. On Judgment Day, the deeds will surely be weighed. The condition of the believers on Judgment Day. The conversations between the people of hell and the people of A'raf, and the interactions among the inhabitants of hell are described. Dear viewers, in today's episode, we will discuss one of these topics, the reward and punishment for deeds. Dear viewers, every person naturally desires to live a comfortable life and to spend his old age in peace and satisfaction. To achieve this, people strive tirelessly day and night to acquire as many luxuries as possible. This is a natural inclination, and Islam does not prohibit the pursuit of comfort. However, it does warn against becoming so engrossed in accumulating worldly wealth that we forget about the afterlife, where we will reside forever. This world is considered a place of action. Allah Almighty has created it for people to work and strive. The afterlife is the place of accountability and reward. On Judgment Day, Allah Almighty will reward those who do good deeds with the blessings of paradise and punish those who do evil for their wrongdoings. Allah Almighty informs us of this in Surah Al-A'raf, where He proclaims, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِنَا وَاسْتَكْبَرُوا عَنْهَا لَا تُفَتَّحُ لَهُمْ أَبْوَابُ السَّمَاءِ وَلَا يَدْخُلُونَ الْجَنَّةَ حَتَّى يَلِجَ الْجَمَلُ فِي سَمِّ الْخِيَاطِ وَكَذَلِكَ نَجْزِي الْمُجْرِمِينَ لهم من جهنم مهاد ومن فوقهم غواش وكذلك نجزي الظالمين والذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لا نكلف نفسا إلا وسعها أولئك أصحاب الجنة Hum fiha khalidun. Translation from Kanzul Irfan. Indeed, those who denied our verses and opposed them in arrogance, the doors of the heavens shall not be open for them, and they will not enter paradise until a camel enters the eye of a needle. Thus, we will recompense the transgressors. They will have a bed of fire with blankets of fire over them, and thus we recompense the oppressors. And those who believe and do righteous deeds, we do not burden a life beyond its capability. They are the people of paradise. They shall reside therein forever. Dear viewers, it is not necessary that the reward or punishment for good or bad deeds is given only in the hereafter. Sometimes if Allah Almighty wishes to bestow special mercy upon someone in this world, or to make someone a lesson for others by giving him a punishment, He can do so. Anyway, everyone will receive a reward for his good deeds and a punishment for his bad deeds. Now it is up to the individual to either benefit from Allah Almighty's bounties and strive to earn His pleasure through good deeds, or to disobey Him and become deserving of hell. Allah Almighty has granted people many distinctive qualities. The earth and its resources are made subservient to them, and they have been given control over them. Moreover, people are free to choose their path in life, whether it be one of faith or disbelief, and righteous or evil. Dear viewers, these qualities of people indicate that there must be a time when each person is held accountable for his actions and the bounties he was given. There will be an inquiry into how he used these privileges. For this accountability, Allah Almighty has appointed a specific time known as Judgment Day. On that day, everyone will be held accountable for his deeds. Allah Almighty proclaims in Surah Al-A'raf, فَلَنَسْأَلَنَّ الَّذِينَ أُرْسِلَ إِلَيْهِمْ وَلَنَسْأَلَنَّ الْمُرْسَلِينَ. Translation from Kanzul Irfan, so we shall most definitely question those to whom messengers were sent, and we will most certainly question the messengers. On Judgment Day, people will stand in the court of Allah Almighty in a state of extreme fear. The terrifying scene of Judgment Day, the worry about their deeds, and the fear of the consequences of their bad actions will heighten their anxiety. When the book of deeds is handed over on that day, the evil person will desperately think of ways to escape punishment, but none of his schemes will be of any benefit. Allah Almighty proclaims, يَقُولُ الْإِنسَانُ يَوْمَئِذٍ أَيْنَ الْمَفَرُّ كَلَّا لَا وَزَرَ إِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ يَوْمَئِذٍ الْمُسْتَقَرُّ. Translation from Kanzul Irfan, on that day man will say, where is the place of escape? Never. There will be no refuge. On that day the stay will be towards your Lord alone. In contrast, those whose books are filled with the fundamental beliefs and ethical teachings of Islam will display joy on their faces. This is because they will have made righteous decisions in their worldly lives, abandoning material possessions, and their records will reflect these good deeds. It is stated in the Holy Quran, لِلَّذِينَ أَحْسَنُوا الْحُسْنَى. Translation from Kanzul Irfan, for those who performed righteous deeds, there is virtue. It means that those who have done good deeds will receive a great reward. This great reward is that the honored bondsmen of Allah Almighty will be granted the opportunity to see their gracious Creator. Allahu Akbar. Those with good deeds will enter paradise and be blessed with the vision of their Lord. The Holy Prophet ﷺ said, you will see your Lord with your own eyes. Those whose deeds are not good will remain deprived of seeing their Creator. Allah Almighty proclaims, كَلَّا إِنَّهُمْ أَرَّبِّهِمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ لَمَحْجُوبُونَ. Translation from Kanzul Irfan, truly indeed on that day they will be deprived of the vision of their Lord. Dear viewers, we've just heard that on Judgment Day, everyone will be held accountable for his deeds, and everyone will be rewarded or punished based on his deeds. Now, let's know what exactly is meant by hisab. What is hisab? The literal meaning of hisab is to count. In a technical sense, it refers to Allah Almighty informing people of their deeds before they are returned from Judgment Day. Dear viewers, the nature of accountability will differ for each individual. Some will have an easy accountability, while others will face it harshly. Some will be judged in secret, and some openly. Some will be reprimanded, and others will be judged with grace. The Holy Prophet ﷺ said, on Judgment Day, people will be submerged in their sweat according to their deeds. Some will have sweat up to their ankles, some to their knees, some to their waists, and some will be submerged in sweat up to their earlobes. Judgment Day will be 50,000 years long. However, for the Muslims, half of this 50,000 year day will be so easy that it will feel as though the sun is about to set, and then it sets. For those whose deeds are righteous and good, the day of accountability will be made very easy. The beloved Prophet ﷺ said, I swear by the one in whose power my soul is, indeed that day will be made so easy for a Muslim that it will feel shorter than the time it takes to perform an obligatory prayer. Certainly the longest day of judgment will be made easy for Muslims due to their righteous deeds. Therefore, we should strive to perform as many good deeds as possible and avoid sins so that Judgment Day will be easy for us as well. Dear viewers, Allah's justice and fairness are unparalleled. He will not account for people's deeds based on estimation. Instead, He will establish a scale to weigh the deeds of people accurately. Each person will see the weight of his deeds himself, and he will be rewarded or punished accordingly. Hence, it is proclaimed in Surah Al-A'raf, وَالْوَزْنُ يَوْمَئِذٍ الْحَقِّ فَمَنْ ثَقُلَتْ مَوَازِينُهُ فَأُولَئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ وَمَنْ خَفَّتْ مَوَازِينُهُ فَأُولَئِكَ الَّذِينَ خَسِرُوا أنفسهم بما كانوا بآياتنا يظلمون. Translation from Kanzul Irfan, and the weighing on that day is certainly true. So those whose scales shall be heavy, then it is they who will be successful. And those whose scales shall be light, then it is they who have wronged themselves as they were being unjust with our verses. Sayyidina Salman Farsi radiallahu anhu narrates that the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, on Judgment Day the scale will be set up. If the heavens and the earth were placed on it, it would accommodate them. The angels will ask, O Allah Almighty, who will be weighed in it? Allah Almighty will reply, I will weigh whomever I wish from my creation. The angels will say, you are pure. We cannot worship you as you deserve to be worshipped. Dear viewers, on Judgment Day, everyone's deeds will be weighed. Those whose scales of good deeds are heavy will be successful, while those whose scales of sins are heavy will be deserving of punishment. This process of accountability will take place so that each person can be rewarded or punished according to his actions in this world. Allah Almighty proclaims, لِيَجْزِيَ اللَّهُ كُلَّ نَفْسٍ مَا كَسَبَتْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ سَرِيعُ الْحِسَابِ. Translation from Kanzul Irfan, so that Allah recompenses every soul for what it earned. Allah is most swift in reckoning. Therefore, we should strive to do as many good deeds as possible, so that our book of deeds is filled with virtues and we are granted the rewards of paradise in return. Only if our book of deeds is rich in good deeds will we be among the fortunate. As Allah Almighty has linked a person's fortune to his actions. The decisions made on Judgment Day will be based on the types of deeds presented in the court of Allah Almighty. On that day, even the smallest action will be accounted for. Allah Almighty proclaims, فَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَهُ وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ شَرًّا يَرَهُ. Translation from Kanzul Irfan, so whosoever does an atom's weight of good will see it, and whosoever does an atom's weight of evil will see it. This verse shows that even the smallest good deed is beneficial, while even the tiniest sin can have consequences. Sayyidina Abu Huraira radiyallahu anhu narrated that the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, sometimes a person speaks seeking Allah's pleasure without paying much attention to it. That is, sometimes such matters seem trivial to him, yet Allah Almighty elevates him to high ranks because of it. Conversely, a person sometimes speaks something that displeases Allah Almighty without realizing it, and because of this he might fall into hell. That's why we should not overlook even the smallest of goodness, nor should we consider any sin to be insignificant. Unfortunately, our way of life suggests that no matter how we act, we feel we won't be questioned, and that Allah Almighty will pardon our mistakes with His forgiveness and mercy. Obviously, this negligence reflects serious foolishness on our part. It is stated in a hadith that the wise person is the one who holds himself accountable and acts those deeds which improves his afterlife. The unwise one is the one who follows his own desires while hoping for rewards from Allah Almighty in the hereafter. Dear viewers, our ignorance makes us neglect the importance of reforming our actions. We are neither concerned with improving our worldly life through good deeds, nor with our afterlife. Yet Allah Almighty repeatedly emphasizes in the Quran the importance of doing good deeds and avoiding bad ones. He has promised rewards for righteousness and warning of hell for wrongdoing. Allah Almighty proclaims, Innal abrara lafi na'im wa innal fujjara lafi jahim yaslawnaha yawmaddin wa ma hum anha bighaibin wa ma adraka ma yawmuddin thumma ma adraka ma yawmuddin yawma la tamliku nafsun li nafsin shay'a wal amru yawma idhil lillah. Translation from Kanzul Irfan, indeed the virtuous are in comfort, and the evildoers are in hell. They will enter it on the day of justice, and they will not be able to hide from it. And what do you know of the day of justice? Then what do you know of the day of justice? The day when no soul will have any authority for any other soul, and the ultimate command on that day belongs to Allah. Dear viewers, Allah Almighty has made arrangements to reward the righteous with great blessings. These will be the individuals who sacrificed for the sake of goodness and endured the hardships along the way with patience. When the book of deeds is presented and everyone is questioned about his words and actions, and when paradise and hell are presented, the final outcome for each person will become evident. On that day, there will be no injustice. Some faces will shine brightly, while others will be darkened. Imagine those unfortunate souls whose entire worldly lives were spent in sins and amusement, who never considered what was lawful or unlawful, and never cared about halal and haram. What will happen when they stand in the hereafter, looking at their deeds with heads bowed? Allah Almighty proclaims, وَجِيءَ يَوْمَئِذٍ بِجَهَنَّمَ يَوْمَئِذٍ يَتَذَكَّرُ الْإِنسَانُ وَأَنَّى لَهُ الذِّكْرَى يَقُولُ يَا لَيْتَنِي قَدَّمْتُ لِحَيَاتِي. Translation from Kanzul Irfan, and on that day, hell will be brought forth. Man will reflect on that day. And now, how is there time for him to reflect? He will say, alas, would that I had sent forth goodness from my life. Dear viewers, at that moment, it will be too late to regret not having done good deeds. While we are still in this world, the opportunity to act remains. Once our breath ceases, the time for action will be over. Therefore, we should make the most of our lives by performing as many good deeds as possible, so that on Judgment Day, we do not regret our missed opportunities and can enter paradise with ease. May Allah Almighty grant us the ability to perform more good deeds and protect us from disgrace on Judgment Day. Ameen Ya Rabbal Alameen. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Dear viewers, in today's episode, we discussed the topic of reward and punishment for deeds, selected from Surah Al-A'raf. First, we heard Allah Almighty's command regarding the reward and punishment of deeds. We then talked about the definition of hisab, accountability, and its nature. Following that, we explored why accountability will take place and whether rewards and punishments will be given based on estimation or not. We also covered additional related aspects of the topic. May Allah Almighty accept our endeavors. Inshallah, we will be back in the next episode with a new topic. Keep watching Madani Channel. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam.
Through Quranic insight we gain wisdom's light. Through Quranic insight we gain wisdom's light. Illuminating our path to what is right. Illuminating our path to what is right.